What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and on this planet we send it. And what we're going to be getting into today, we're going to be getting into a garden vlog. It's been about 3 weeks or so since I last did my last garden vlog, and quite a bit has been going on since it is fruiting season, and I want to catch you up on this, especially since I got about another 2-3 Jeep videos that I want to get out, and I want to make sure I'm keeping those who are watching my garden videos, keep you guys abreast of what's going on. All right, I got a plan in place. Let's go ahead and send it. So let's go ahead and take a quick look here at the blueberry bushes and the potatoes. So what I do want to kind of highlight is number one, I've put in my first load of vermicomposting from the worm bin right there into this particular bin. I was noticing that, really wasn't seeing too much growth coming from here, so I decided to go and throw in a batch of that into there, plus it was necessary. But this one, although I haven't thrown any more fertilizer or anything into it, I think it is about time I put some fertilizer into it because it's been a few months. And when I mean fertilizer, I'll probably do the next load of compost. And if that doesn't come soon enough, the vermicompost, I'll probably go ahead and get some just acidic, because this needs acidic fertilizer, so I'll probably go ahead and put that in here. But check out the cool colors that this blueberry bush is giving now. That is something different, and it's definitely growing upward, so starting to see some pretty good growth coming out of the blueberry bushes. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look into the potato bush here. Really not seeing I'm not seeing potatoes coming up here, so it means they're all still residing down below. And you can see that it looks like you can definitely tell that the soil itself is not that well conditioned, probably not with all the nutrition that the plant needs, because the leaves are looking pretty sick. So I don't know how good of a harvest I'm going to get from this particular planting style, but I feel if I keep it up over the next few years and just keep amending it with some good organic stuff, it'll probably do a lot better. Although this one seems like it's doing better than that one over there. So the only quick thing I want to highlight here is we are coming to the end of our strawberry season with this particular brand. Looks like I need to water that one right after I get done with making this video. But let's take a quick look in here and see how the vermicomposting is going. So about just after I did the last video, I filled this up to the brim. As a matter of fact, a little overflow with the cardboard, and it is already being eaten down. The worms are doing really good in here, and as you can see, we've even started putting food scraps back in there. Another quick, just little stop here. We have planted in some other ingrown garden type things, but we're starting to get, which appears to be some arugula down here coming up from self-seed. This eggplant we've seeded. This was actually planted about at the time I did the last video, and you can see how the celery stalks are getting a little too heavy, and we're letting it just continuing to go, so it will self-seed in the future. And let's just take a quick look at the bees. The bees are doing really great. As I'm looking, they're starting to grow their comb down the side of the house, so they're appearing to be doing really healthy. And so, I really feel like it's time for me to go ahead and do the registration and get my beehive going and just make a home for them that's permanent, because they have been just doing my garden has been doing outstanding because of them. And normally I start at the other end and walk this way, but there's really no need to, because the hops are just completely and growing over everything, encompassing everything. It's a huge area just filled with hops, and I'm looking forward to saving them and making them for kombucha this summer and into fall. So we are coming to the end of the tomato season, and we are now just letting these last few remaining vines go ahead and finish. But this year compared to last year, being that since we had the bees, has just been outstanding. We have just seen about every flower is producing tomatoes, and they have been delicious. They have been top notch this year, and it has been really great to have the bees here. And we'll just go ahead and jump down here real fast, because I don't have too many, but I got a few. We got the habanero peppers coming in, so these are coming in right here. We got, as you can see here, and over here too, although I'm not seeing any on here. And then we got different types of chili peppers to make salsa or whatever else we want to use for. Man, I have mentioned it many times before, but I'm going to mention it again. Since the last time we did the video, all the plums that used to be up here, I was literally coming out here every day looking for any plums that may have hit the ground. And as a matter of fact, and catch them before the bugs did, as you can see kind of right over here. You know, if the bugs got to them or the birds or whatever, then we would, you know, just kind of throw them in there and let the biology take over. But the plums have just been delicious, and fortunately, since the tree's getting bigger and producing more, we were getting a lot more. It seemed like the birds really weren't getting at that many, because they'd be getting the ones that remain kind of high and sort of distracting them for the ones that were lower. So I'm looking forward to keeping this tree going as strong as I can, but I do feel when pruning season's coming, I'm probably going to be taking either this whole branch off or maybe the part that's kind of heading up towards my weather station so it doesn't interfere with this. But plums, if you can grow them, I highly recommend it. Now I'm going to kind of do the peach trees, both of them sort of, you know, combined here. That one, we have the graft on this tree, we have not necessarily gotten any peaches from, but it seems to be a little bit further along than the one to my right. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can see any back here. Let's come on around over here. You can see there's definitely not producing nearly as many peaches, but it looks like this one's going to be coming pretty soon. And let's go ahead and jump on over to this one. This one is just full. This one is just full. And I'm going to kind of highlight it in a couple of other places. But since I was noticing that the soil was just staying a little bit too dry and some of the papayas were basically, they were ripening and being way too small, you're going to see I installed drip irrigation along the tree line just to make sure the entire tree line gets a very good soaking of water. Every single one of them gets a good soaking of water at least once a week. And of course, we're not going to skip over my semi-dwarf trees. This one's doing outstanding. It's really looking healthy. Again, I'm kind of excited to see which one is the navel orange tree and which one is the Valencia, the blood orange. But I feel like that one's probably going to be the blood orange, but it would be great if that one's it, because I really want the blood orange to do well. But both of them are, you know, this one's even starting to get some new growth in to the top. So obviously this one's doing better, but I'm still pretty excited to see that although it's not doing as good, it's still surviving. And we'll kind of highlight these two real fast, but the Persimmons tree really is kind of filling out. It's coming in, and I feel like, I don't know what the fruiting cycle is for it, but I feel like if it does a spring fruiting, it'll probably be next year when we start getting some persimmons. But the flowers here on the lime tree, looks like they might be coming in, or it looks like some of them might already have come in, but we are still, looks like we're going in for our next lime production, especially since now I'm starting to see, for example, like here's one coming in, you know, actually here's a lot of them coming in, and I really feel that that's the lime tree has always been doing good, but I expect that in addition to it's becoming older, that the bees are going to be helping it produce a lot more limes now. The lemon balm, if you recall, that was taking up pretty much all that area. I cut that completely back. I'll let that either survive or die away, but I'm pretty sure it got a pretty good root system. It'll be able to start producing hormones. As a matter of fact, I think I left one, obviously some down here, but yeah, it's already starting to come in and produce some more new growth. So I knew that that would bounce back quickly. So that's coming in. And the fig tree is actually doing real good too. As a matter of fact, I'm already starting to train one of the branches here, because it was like hanging way too far over. And if, you know, I prune for a couple of reasons. One's to allow so that the trees themselves don't self-prune. And number two, for my personal gardening maintenance functionality. You know, if it starts getting in the way of me mowing the lawn, then sorry, it got to go. But in this case, I went ahead and tied it up so that it just continues producing more fruit, because on this one, it had well over 4, 5, 6, over 6 or so, heck, 8, 10 on just that one branch figs coming in. So I didn't want to necessarily chop it off quite yet. And as a matter of fact, we'll just do a quick little shot here at the new one coming in. It's looking really healthy, and that's great to see. All right, the girls are talking to me. So let's go ahead and let them out. Hola, chicas. Hola. Oh, we got a spider web up here. It's all right. We're not going to let it hold us back. Yep, you want out? It's been a while. It's been a while. Come on. Here, hold on. Trying to do this with the camera isn't easy. Hold on. Hold on. All right, is that enough? Yep, there you go. Come on out, girls. Come on out. All right. Come on out. Come on out. There you go. All right, now if I let you gals out, will you be a little quiet? Looks like it. All right, I'm going to finish up the video then. And I just want to sit back and admire how great the avocado tree is doing. Now, it's not going perfect. I still got it stilted in there pretty good. It's not able to support itself. And, you know, I was hoping maybe it would be producing more than 5 avocados this year. But I still got 1. And I still got 2 right there. Let me come around here to show you guys. Hopefully it's showing up well in the shade for you guys, but I got them both right here. So that's great to see. And you know, besides that, let's see here. I'm not showing any leaf browning towards the tip, so I don't think, maybe a little bit here. Got a little bit of leaf tip going, so maybe in a few places, but maybe a little bit up top. Got a little bit around here and there, but I don't think that the tree is going in for a next growth spurt, or if it is, that means that the root section, I'm assuming, is doing a lot better so that it can support this. Actually, no, it looks like it is coming up for some. All right, well, that's pretty interesting. That's potentially a good sign. It's growing fruit, so it's the roots are producing enough energy to support the fruit that it's creating. And in addition to that, it has new growth come up with very minimal leaf browning at the tip. So I'm pretty happy to see that. And big Bertha with all her majesty. I just see flowers and fruit coming up all over this tree. She just is the beast as always. Let me just kind of come into a section that appears to be pretty good. So you got a lot of, let's get in here to the shade. You got a lot of flowering that's already turning into guavas. You can see some at various stages. That's going on around the whole tree. So big Bertha, even though I did a significant chop and pruning that large branch trunk, I should say, at the back there, she's just bouncing back fiercely. And then the next thing to notice is you can see, if you recall from the last video, this pomegranate was leaning heavily to the right. So I got a ratchet strap, and Big Bertha, not only is it supporting everything that's coming in so far, it's also supporting the pomegranate tree. But the pomegranate tree is coming in heavy with the pomegranates. I mean, I'm looking at probably like 20 plus pomegranates on this tree. This tree is really coming in strong and coming in good. You can even kind of see how it still has the lean from where it was originally placed. But to be honest, I put the ratchet strap on probably about shortly after the last video, so about 3 weeks ago, and it still hasn't yet kind of adjusted to where it was before. But I'm very happy to see how well this pomegranate tree is doing. And in this section here, I got a couple good news stories. So number one, the elderberry tree is coming back very strongly, coming in and looking very healthy. Since this is the second time we did a heavy pruning, and it seems like that trunk right there is able to support everything so far, but it already seems like some of the new branches coming in are potentially being a little weak. So we'll keep an eye on that. However, let's take a look at the baby avocado tree. All right, so last we were here, this was a struggle. We did see these new leaves coming in here at the top, so that was a good sign, but you can see they're coming in here a lot more. But you can kind of see how I mentioned that this tree, it's very new. So I'm getting a lot of the browning at the tips that appears to be some of the sacrifice for it to bring in the new growth. So not only do we got these new leaves coming in, you can even see we even got the next batch coming in there, if it'll focus for me. I don't know if it's focusing, but yeah, that's a great sign that we got even more growth coming in. And it looks like we're potentially going to get 2 main trunks, well, 2 semi-trunks coming off the main one here, kind of low. So that'll be exciting to see how this turns out. All right, so the papaya tree, and this is kind of, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, let me take a step back here, and look back in time, I should say. If you remember during the winter, papaya tree doesn't like the winter, and where all the trees, where all their leaves, I should say, were looking pretty much like that right there. But now, where it's been staying steadily warm, the papaya tree is super healthy. But I think that these small papayas that are being produced, and you can see they're already starting to ripen, doing the orangish yellow and tip there, that we had 2 ripen at that size, completely ripen at that size. So that's either for 2 reasons. Number one, because of that period of where the leaves just sort of were not in good shape due to the cold temperatures that this thing doesn't like, or I wasn't watering it well enough. So that was another reason that I put the drip irrigation again along the entire tree line, so that all the trees get a good soaking at least once a week, in addition to the regular watering they're already receiving. And let's see here, it's been a while since I checked in on this Valencia orange tree, but let's see here. Last time I was here, we had already lost all of the fruit, unfortunately, so no oranges coming in this year. But I'm just kind of looking to see if there might be any new growth. Everything is looking super dark and healthy. Maybe that might be some new growth. Maybe it looks a little older than I anticipated. But the tree is looking healthy. So this does appear to be only fruiting one time a year. So I guess the remainder of this year until we get into next spring, it's just going to be growing stronger, not only above the ground, but below the ground too. And the little engine that could. Man, this thing just appears like I got to double check, to be honest. I need to go take a look at the last video because I feel like these back ones appear to be growing not only in length, but also it seems like the trunks themselves are starting to strengthen and thicken too. But everything else, though, I mean, and again, it appears that the little engine that could, the mango tree, is now starting to brown at the tip. You know, again, I'm assuming that's because it's sending energy elsewhere. But overall, it still looks like it's doing really good. And I'm really not sure what that is. It might be flowering, but I haven't really seen too much come out of it yet. So we'll see what happens. But it's definitely getting sufficient water now, and it's plenty warm enough. So we'll see what's happening with this mango tree. But as you can definitely tell, I got to cut this bush back heavily, something fierce. It's a little intimidating because it's one of the 2 plants that I have that have thorns, and it's really frustrating when I go cutting this thing. But it's definitely about time. Well, looks like one of the chickens here is about to make some food out of some rat. It's like it got a rat or something. Thing is gonna make my cat a little jealous. Not sure if that's a dead rat or what, but everyone else wants it. That's pretty funny. All right, well, that's a little mouse, I should say. Those are little field mice we've been getting, trying to, do the exterminator, but it hasn't been able to work so much. So maybe I just need to attack the wildlife with my animals. Got to watch where I'm walking so I don't step on the girls, but the grapevine is doing great. We have been struggling trying to keep up with it. I've been bringing them to work, and we're still, struggling to come up. As you can see, they are all looking nice, almost completely red. Every single one of them, with just very few green, and being that this is a red or purple grape, every single one of these have ripened, and we need to keep up with them. But they have been just doing outstanding. Now let's take a look here. All right, so it looks like this branch has gone, all right, not quite to that side, but this one definitely looks like it's growing still and may reach the end of there. But the back one here that's definitely way out producing is not gone that far yet. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see them, but there's bees even going around here taking a little look, so that's great to see. That might be what's giving them the water, so that's even more awesome that the bees are taking this and, drinking from it, so that's awesome. But let's take another look over here. Jump on over to this side. Okay, so nope. Sorry, I'm kind of probably turning you guys around. I was looking to see if that branch may have went a little bit further, but it's not. So I got a hard decision to make. As you know, the goal is for me to get the grapevine all the way to the end here. And the main one doesn't look like it's producing a branch or anything yet that will make it all the way down here. But the young one that's not producing nearly as much looks like it might make it there. So I need to decide, go with the one that, isn't reaching the length that I want to, but is doing outstanding, or, maybe take a year or 2 on less fruit, but one that will make it to the end. I got to make a decision on that. All right, so that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, I just kind of wanted to update you guys on where the garden stands and some of the excitement that's been going on. I know it doesn't seem like too much probably for non-gardeners, but those of you that are watching, I know you're gardeners, and when it gets time to where things are fruiting on the things that you did, literally the fruits of your labor, it is just a great and outstanding experience, especially when it tastes beyond anything that you can get in the store. But for those who are watching my Jeep videos, like I said, I got about 3 that I'm working on right now as soon as I get this one out, and you guys will be seeing that. It'll be one trip that I just took to Gold Mountain. I'm working on getting the little sluice from the Rubicon sort of offshoot done. That'll be out, and then also I'm putting together PSC installation for LJs, and more of things to consider when doing a PSC steering upgrade for an LJ. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.